Good day, ladies and gentlemen, CycloneDuke here once again, and I am playing Orcs Must Die 2 as the Sorceress once again on Mage difficulty, which is normal, and today I'm going to be 5-sculling level 4, The Crossing. So this is kind of pretty much the Spring Trap level. You're awarded the Spring Trap right before you get this level, and on this level it's pretty good. I would not really say that Spring Traps are unfortunately much use, just like in the first game. They don't do a lot of damage, they require a lot of positioning to even kill an orc. If you can actually flip them into a chasm, they usually won't die from it, and it can mess up your positioning a whole lot. But for this map, The Crossing, Spring Traps are the way to go. They do their job pretty nicely, of course, flinging those orcs off into the chasm to instant death, so that works out pretty handily. You've got two paths to watch here, one on the bottom and one on the top, up left. And in general, this map can be hard to play. It can be certainly hard to 5-skull. The biggest things you need to worry about are, first of course, the hordes. They also send a lot of crossbow orcs to you, which is annoying to me as a sorceress, because when I charm them, they actually don't turn to kill the charmed guy. They keep on trying to shoot me. Crossbow orcs seem to be about the only thing that usually hurts me when I play this game. But yeah, so you gotta watch out for the hordes, of course. They will be sending hordes across at you on both bridges. Both bridges also feature a cart track, which is a bad thing because it means that they can walk across it instead of walking over your traps. So you're going to have to be manually looking at both of these bridges and keeping both sides in check at the same time. Biggest thing to note first off as well, you are going to get some kobolds in wave 3 down here on the bottom bridge in about the middle of the wave. And this is annoying because it's also the first wave where they send orcs at you from the top bridge as well. You can see them there on the minimap at the top left. I want to go up there and fight them, but I gotta wait here for these freaking kobolds, and we're in danger zone now. One of the orcs is going to get through, so I gotta rush up here, quickly kill him, and then quickly get back to get these kobolds. I really gotta be waiting for them. There they go, just in time. Whew. Now, in general, what I do recommend for you guys as you play this level is, again, fortify one of the bridges a lot, and also have the cart track going there. This means you can mostly forget about it and spend your time on the other bridge. I recommend that you fortify the lower bridge, because that means that when you're standing up here on the higher bridge, you can look down at the other bridge and attack orcs from, above them. You can't really do that on the other side. Now, one thing to note, of course, is that sometimes the orcs, very often actually, the orcs from the top bridge who get flung down will land on the second bridge and get up, but don't worry, they're not going to just keep walking. They have to walk all the way back to get up to the first bridge. So if you knock them down off the first bridge, they're going to have to walk back all the way to get back up there. They won't just walk to the exit. Shouldn't, at least. Now, I have seen some orcs that tended to walk towards the exit, but I'm not sure if they were knocked down from the top bridge. And the last thing that you gotta watch out on this stage are those earth elementals. Why? Because they are large sized, which means you really cannot rely on them to be knocked into the air by your spring traps. You can take an upgrade for your spring traps to sometimes knock back heavy enemies, but it's not reliable. That sometimes will lose you a perfect score. Do not rely on it, I would say. Just make the spring traps cheaper and then put the remaining money either into them resetting faster or into your main weapon just to help you kill orcs, because you're going to have to be killing a lot of orcs yourself on this level. So again, I've got my full setup here. Now, I opted to put down a couple of ice traps down after all of the spring traps, because if something does get through all of the spring traps, I don't want to just have another spring trap. If it's a kobold or if it's an earth elemental, another spring trap isn't going to help. So I put down freezing traps instead, because it'll keep them in place for me to see them on my minimap and realize, oh crap, I gotta get there really quick to kill them. And of course, if you're playing as the Mage, you can just put down tar instead, which works just as fine. So really, that's all you gotta do to 5-skull this level, guys. Watch out for those kobolds on wave 3, watch out for the earth elementals that they throw at you in the few last waves, and just keep your attention between both of them, and try and get your setup of lots of spring traps as soon as you can. And take note of the cart. if you're losing control on one of the sides, send the cart up there. There's a switch behind me here. I believe I hit it soon. And that'll help you take control of it. It'll especially help because the cart knocks the orcs up into the air, which as well on the lower bridge, not here because up on the higher wall, up on the higher bridge, they're beside a wall on the cart tracks instead of beside a chasm. But the cart tracks on the lower bridge is beside the chasm, so when they get hit by the cart, usually it will also throw them into the chasm into death, which won't happen up here. So at this point I've got my perfect traps set up on both bridges. I've got it entirely covered with spring traps on both sides and then a little bit of freezing traps just at the end, so I'm pretty happy right now. So long as I don't drop the ball and get distracted, I should 5-skull this no problem. Now any additional money at this point that you get, I would recommend set it up at the exits really. There's not really much more space here to put down traps. You could put down some traps before the orcs get to the bridges, but I'd say, you know, since they're just going to walk into all of the traps anyway on the bridge, don't worry about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it now. I'm going to set up a few traps at the doors just to make sure I'm super safe and secured against any runners getting by. Some of them do get a bit by, but with that much land to cover, with that many spring traps, you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. You just got to really control these earth elementals. Charm them if you're Sorceress, of course. You always want to charge the biggest guy possible because they will take the most amount of damage, they will dish out the most amount of damage, and all in all, I mean, it's also a great way to slow down the wave. So yeah, cool. So I mean, that's about it. That is going to be the crossing level 4 5-skull on War Mage. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to leave it off here, and as always, all the best and have an exquisite day.